Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to yet another week of What's Next. We never know what's next, but we do know that we are coming to you live from the City of Angels Studios right here in Hightstown, New Jersey. And I am Danny Coleman, and you are
Maryann Castello.
And we together will tell you what's next.
Yes,
actually, huh?
absolutely.
We hope. What's Next with Danny Coleman is sponsored by the City of Angels Addiction and Recovery Programs, the Recovery Spot, New York, as well as Monmouth Music of Red Bank, New Jersey, and Neo Zoe Health and Wellness Center of Cranford, New Jersey. If you want to tell us what should be next, please email us at whatsnextcoa at gmail.com.
That's right.
And then we will look at your email, we promise, eventually. And we will try to make your comments or suggestions come to fruition.
Absolutely.
But before we go any further, I want to say hello to everybody at Long Branch Cable.
Hello.
Long Branch Cable Channel 20. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes. So that's great. We got a good show tonight.
Yes, we do.
Interesting show.
A very interesting show.
We have voiceover artist and actress Ilene Sullivan. We have promoter and energy streamer Joe of Dolce Vita.
Yes.
And we have an interesting, what promises to be an interesting segment. We have Michelle of Bridal Music.
Yes.
And she is a flutist, philanthropist. Maybe she's going to give us a lesson of a lifetime tonight, I'm told.
Pure comedy, I'm sure. It's going to be pure comedy.
Most likely. But that's what we have going on tonight.
Yes, we do.
Do you have anything? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I do actually.
Let me hear it. Let us hear it.
This is the season to be thankful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it should be the time of health, not waiting till January, right?
Okay.
Right? Because you're going to sit down to probably a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, yeah. But I'm the epitome of health.
Okay. But we want to get you on track. So I'm helping people do that. And for a limited time before the holidays at Neo Zoe, we are doing gift certificates.
Oh.
So you buy one, get the second one at 10% off. So this way you can help yourself and give one also.
So if I wanted to buy a $1,000 gift certificate, I would get it for $900?
Yes.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Yes.
No, I'm just
No.
kidding. But
Okay.
it's a great gift, and people used it last year. So this year I want to do a buy one, give one, you know.
Buy one, give one?
Give one at 10% off, yes.
At 10% off?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Neo Zoe of Cranford,
So
New
you have
Jersey.
to come.
Maryann Castello proprietor. What? Have to come what?
You'll have to come and get a massage.
Oh, I need one. Actually, my neck has been very stiff. And Maryann gives great medical massages. And
Contrary to his belief of what he said.
contrary to what my body tells me, you walk in there and you can't walk out, actually. You have to wait most times because your body's like rubber. And you do.
Thank you, but we always have fun.
We do.
We do.
Well,
Yeah. This is your year, right?
it's right. It's my year.
We're gonna
Correct.
try. We're gonna try. You know what? Write into that email and give a suggestion that it is Danny's year for health and wellness.
It is the year of Dan.
Yes. I guess.
All right. We'll be back with our first guest, flutist, philanthropist. She's going to kill me when she hears that. Michelle from Bridal Music. We'll be right back.
Are you constantly living with dysfunction in your life? If so, there's help. Neo Zoe, New Life Through Balanced Living, is a very unique holistic wellness company that's here to help you preserve a healthy balance and eliminate any dysfunction. We use an individual approach through nutrition, massage, and various other holistic practices. You can restore your optimal health and a healthy lifestyle. Visit us on the web at neozoe.com or call us at 732-713-0123.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Right now, I want to introduce, doing a very fine medley, Michelle of Bridal Music. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My first guest this evening is from the Toms River, New Jersey area, and she is part of a duo called Bridal Music. She's a flutist or a flautist. She is Michelle of Bridal Music.
Your favorite song, right? That was after the wedding.
Shudders.
Why is that after the wedding?
That was the death march.
That was
what
the Death March, yeah.
Oh, I was waiting for dun 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 dun
no.
dun dun.
Oh, that's another one. That's
Yeah,
another
okay.
one.
Well, who was that one by? The Death March.
I don't know.
Now, I'm not saying
know.
I'm not saying that my marriage was doomed from the start, but my ex-wife did purchase her bridal gown from a bridal shop that was located next to a funeral parlor. Literally right next to a funeral parlor. Their buildings.
Is that why you say you put the fun in funeral?
I put the fun in funeral. That's right.
That's why you said
But
that.
all kidding aside, Michelle is with us because you do what?
We do weddings in the Ocean Monmouth County area. We do about 60 a year. We play in the beaches, the parks, catering halls, houses of worship, private parties. You name it, we'll be there.
Very good.
We even
Go ahead.
We were asked to do a gig for the Governor Christie, but they wouldn't let me get out of it. My juror number came up, and I asked could I be excused. He was doing a $500 plate dinner, and
Wow.
they wouldn't excuse us.
Let's see, $500 a plate, but you get nailed $50 for contempt of court. You're still up $450, Michelle. So you might have a criminal record, but you know what? You're up. It's like Atlantic City. No? Do you gamble?
No,
No?
no.
Good. Good. Good.
Let it ride.
That's- So how long have you been playing the flute?
Started in the 5th grade when I was 10.
Okay.
I came home crying. Everybody had an instrument except me. And then my dad said, no, don't cry. I got you a flute. So a bazillion years later, here's still the flute. I can't get rid of this thing. So, and you know what I don't like? So many public schools don't have this anymore.
Yeah, they've taken.
I
Well, they
mean-
don't offer. Well, the only woodwind they offer is like saxophone or clarinet. They don't even offer that.
You
in
know,
some
they
cases.
don't even offer that. And I used to teach at Georgian Court University, the flute ensemble and some of the music majors there. And they discontinued that.
Really.
So they've even some of the colleges now are dropping the music program.
So you have an extensive music background then.
Yeah, I was a music major. I went to New Jersey University, and then the summertime I would study with a teacher at Yale University. And then
Okay.
just a few years ago, I'll do check-in lessons at Princeton University with one of their teachers. So it
Very
keeps you in
nice.
good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's nice.
keeps your chops up.
Yep, keeps your chops up.
Telling
That's
you.
it. You know the lingo.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a musician
That's
myself.
right.
you
That's
know.
right. You're a drummer. Yes.
And we have, speaking of chops, we have our international touring advisor and music director here who's going to do a little thing for us in a little bit. when
Does he know it?
He does now. But we're going to be bringing him out very shortly, and because as you can see at home, we have 3.
Oh, head joints.
Yeah.
Mouthpieces. Head joints.
I'm nervous.
Mouthpieces and head joints, and Michelle is going to attempt to teach us how to play a song on the flute.
Yes, well, you'll accompany me, yeah.
We will. We'll accompany you. She will have the
Yes,
body of the show, of the
yes.
song. Now, your flute, okay? Do you also play piccolo and?
Piccolo, yeah, it's just everything is like 8 notes higher in pitch. Really, it's going to cut through a symphony. Great for marching band, but not so good for weddings.
No.
No, the brides will complain.
That would be shrill.
No, oh, real shrill.
Yeah. And when you're dealing with brides, they have to be the shrillest.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
They're already pretty shrill.
They're
some of
shrill.
them, yeah.
Bridezilla.
Yeah. But there's a lot of different flutes. There was even an E-flat flute, the alto flute, which you probably know is very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Very mellow, and then a bass flute, which is ridiculous, just goes all the way around. It's huge.
And are you
I just do the C flute. I just do this one. Yeah.
okay? So what made you want to start this wedding duo, and how did you get out
Yes.
there? How did you get your first wedding?
I know what you mean. One of my associates was very sick. She had pneumonia, and she called me up, Michelle, you have to do this wedding. And I did it. I met with a violinist. I met with the guitarist about an hour and a half early. And then they had a maid of honor who was an opera singer, so she wanted to do songs. So this was some undertaking. This was for a first gig. This probably was the most challenging. So I thought about it for a year after that because it was such a nice gig. I mean, it was really dynamic. I mean, this was really, it was really striking. It was beautiful. I thought about it for a year. Then I launched my website. And that's how I got the business. The first year, 30 weddings, which was great.
That's fantastic.
So that was really good.
Yeah, and
First
you've
year.
more than doubled it.
Right, now we're double, now we're at 60.
So how can we let's get them websites out there right now. How do we find you?
Name is Bridal Music, and the website's bridalmusic.org.
.org.
Yes.
Okay.
.org.
Now, it's kind of funny, not ha-ha funny, odd funny. Well, it could be ha-ha funny, I guess, too. But now, do you play the ceremonies in the churches
Yes.
or in wherever the weddings are being held?
Yeah, that's a good question. We do 30 minutes beforehand. We start our concert, and we'll do Bocelli, Josh Groban, Phantom Les Mis, classical things, Beatles, just nice, easy listening. Sometimes they want Disney tunes. Then they want the contemporary, like Bruno Mars for 1,000 Years. The nice melodic ones. And then we'll do the processional as everybody's walking out. A lot of excerpts during the actual ceremony. We'll
Okay.
do at least sometimes 6 to 8 excerpts.
Oh,
we can
wow.
do a whole Catholic Mass. We can do all the music for that.
Really?
Which is nice. The next Catholic Mass is January 5th in Bayhead.
Oh,
So it's
Bayhead.
going to be nice.
Okay, down by the Noka
Yeah.
Harbor.
And then we do the recessional, and we do about 10, 15 minutes of that. And sometimes a cocktail hour.
I was going to say, that was my next
depends,
question. Do you
yeah.
do cocktail
Yeah, cocktail
hours?
hour,
Do you
we'll do that, yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you, I was raised Catholic. And the worst part about being Catholic is you really kind of feel like a piece of furniture. Up, down, sit, kneel, spook, slide
that's-
over,
yeah,
pass this, throw that. And I used to play every year, being a drummer, I was always invited to play Little Drummer Boy with the church choir and the Hallelujah chorus, and just to put some snare drum behind.
Right.
And because, Richie, as we talked about, I used dynamics, I was not an overpowering type of drummer. I could play within, right? The best part of doing that was that during the Mass, I didn't have to sit, stand, move, slide. I sat right behind my drum.
Yeah, that's a good
Rum,
point.
pum, pum, pum.
Yeah, that's what we do too. There's no sitting, there's no kneeling. We're just when we sit, we're off to the side,
Right.
And they're doing the aerobics.
And you get like this dispensation. That's right, while they're doing Catholic
Yeah.
aerobics.
and you get the guests that don't know what to do. That's always funny too. Watch
Yes.
them.
Right. See.
You like to be to a different drum, no matter what you do, right?
Correct. I do. So, you work with a violinist.
Yes.
Any other instrumentation or just the
No,
violinist?
just flute and violin. We did that because it's unique and it sounds so different. The 2 treble instruments, and you have like the flute is more vibrant. violin a little more serious. And you put them together, it's really different. It's pretty vibrant sounding. And, it keeps the cost down. Because some of these people are paying so much money already.
Right.
And I really wanted to make music affordable. I mean, it's not in schools anymore, it's not in colleges. People never hear live music, and the last thing I want to do is charge, major dollars. So,
When you were a young flutist or flautist, what did you listen to growing up? What was your favorite kind of music?
oh gosh, the top 40 radio. I didn't listen to classical till I was actually in college, and I was a music major.
Okay, who's your favorite
So-
classical?
Oh, classical.
Who's your
flutist
favorite
now.
classical artist to play, flute wise, or even
Yeah. Well, they've passed away now, but this French flutist Jean-Pierre Rampal.
Okay.
He's world famous. We had another good one with the New York Philharmonic, Julius Baker. There's a lot of them now. They're all so good. But I tend to go to those too. I listen to their recordings. But now, I'll tell you, I don't really don't listen to too many artists.
No.
No, I'm just trying to keep up with, with the brides, the new music, the special requests they want.
What I was going to ask you, what is the weirdest request
I
you've
know.
ever gotten from a bride?
Sometimes they like these rap tunes, but I tell them we can't do it because it's just, they're speaking pitches, they're just going.
Wait till you see me with
da.
that mouthpiece.
Well, yeah, that's,
Sorry,
no.
you're gonna have to resanitize.
Yeah, well, no, don't worry about that. I haven't gotten any really weird requests because I'll tell you, these weddings are so much money. They have the gowns, the place is decorated to the hilt, so they're kind of serious. But they will ask for some tunes. Sometimes they just don't have a good melody. We can't sing out on them. Some things just don't work. You just can't make it musical.
Well, I saw some pictures on your website where now they don't just arrive in limos anymore. They arrive on
Oh, right.
tractors
Yes,
and pickup
yeah,
trucks.
yes.
And,
yeah.
on station wagons.
Yeah,
now,
right.
when I got married, I actually had a friend who owned 18 classic convertibles. And he
Nice.
actually gave, God rest his soul, he's passed away, but he actually gave me 7 cars to use in my wedding.
Wow.
56 Pontiac Fire Chief and 65 Mustangs and Eldorados and Buick, like Oldsmobile, like Delta 80, all convertibles. It was really cool.
Yeah, we
So,
had-
well, how about you? Yeah, go ahead. What's the?
No, we had one bride. Well, no, it's not weird. It was cute. She came in a red Corvette. I thought that was adorable. And
Little
then there
red
was
Corvette.
Yeah, that was cute. And then we had one in the Alair Chapel. I couldn't figure out why the centerpiece was a decorated bicycle. I don't get that. I said maybe they're going to ride it away, but
Right.
they just had a decorated bicycle, all flowers on it, inside the chapel.
Really?
Couldn't figure it out.
Maybe- were they related to Margaret Hamilton?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, no.
No, it was a nice group. I just couldn't figure out why they had the bicycle inside the chapel.
Maybe they'll see this and call you and tell you. So, all right. How about, do you do Christmas parties and things? Do you ever get callings for anything other than weddings?
We do special events. A lot of the 50th anniversary, the birthday party, 50th anniversary, like 90th birthday parties, things like that, where they want it really special. And I really like the 50th anniversary ones. Those are nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you use a PA system? Are you mic'd up? Or
Yeah,
is this just
we
you
have
do?
to. Outside,
Okay.
you have to, because as soon as
Outside,
you play,
yeah,
as soon
okay.
as you play one note, it's just gone. The violin does cut a little bit better than the flute. The flute, you do need some kind of amplification.
Okay.
So we do. We have. I don't even know what they're called. Ken, is it the crate amp?
Yes.
We have 2 like little crates.
Oh, you got crate.
Yeah, they're very tiny.
Yeah.
So they're really mobile, and you know what? They look nice and neat and tidy for a wedding also. Because when I was picking equipment, I said this has to look good all around. We're in gowns, and you can't have these unsightly. So they fit in, and sometimes I hide them in the shrubbery, like when we're at English Manor.
Like those stereo speakers that look like rocks.
Yeah, when we're at the Shadowbrook, for example, we'll just hide them in the planting bed area. So you see the mics, but you don't see them. So, but no, we do. Outside, every outside job has amplification.
Well, yeah, I figured as
Yeah,
much.
for us, but a lot of our associates don't. They
Really?
don't bother, they don't bother with it, but we do.
Well, good for you.
And you don't
want to
need
be
it.
heard.
Yeah, I know you want to be heard. Some of them aren't heard.
All right. All right. Well, well, when we come back, stick around because I have a feeling this is going to become some very good comedy as Michelle is going to attempt to teach us and our musical director, Rich Shalanda, how to play the flute. We'll be right back.
Since 1987, Monmouth Music has served the local music community of Red Bank from their location at 30 Monmouth Street in the center of historic downtown Red Bank, New Jersey. Owner-operated, Monmouth Music provides lessons of all levels, beginner through professional, as well as brand-name instruments and a repair service. For all of your musical needs, go to Monmouth Music. That's Monmouth Music, 30 Monmouth Street, Red Bank, New Jersey.
All right, welcome back. Now, as you can see, some of the levity has already started here as we attempt to. Michelle of Bridal Music was very kind to
Very kind.
Yes.
to bring along these instruments of humiliation. Wait a minute, let me get set. There we go. Okay, I have to make sure my diaphragm is in good position.
That's
I
right.
concur.
That's right. How'd you even know that?
Now, what do we do with these?
You put it under your lip and think like you're blowing over an empty Coke bottle. Just actually,
That one?
you could do like this too. You don't get much out of that though.
Okay,
That's
we'll go to
cheating. Don't make
So
them-
just like,
Whoa.
and your finger too.
Wow.
I don't have it, Danny. Oh,
You got it.
I got it.
Yay. Maryann, you're really good.
Marianne's, I got it already. I can't
Danny,
even.
let's hear what you got, Danny. Go.
You don't want to hear this.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you don't. Yeah.
He just needs a little practice. You want?
Let me see your. Let me have that for a second.
Ha!
No.
Perfect.
Cute. You want to do our
Paradiddle.
song?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're gonna do it too. They're gonna do a tune.
Okay.
I'm gonna
It's
just.
like Jethro Tullman.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
put my lips
Coleman.
together and blow. Go
All
ahead.
right, here we go. Yeah.
Hey!
Hey, we did it.
It's not
was
easy.
good.
That's
Mine's
not
broke.
Easy. No.
I'm better than you guys.
No, that's a very good one.
I just showed you up.
Look, not that we're competitive here at What's Next with Danny Coleman.
We should
Well,
put a wager on this.
what?
Just some type of wager. Of who would get it the
No,
fastest.
you'll win.
But that's the
you
point.
do
That's
know.
why,
Oh,
that's
okay.
why I want to make a wager.
You know, when my son was about 10 years old, he came to me and he said, "Dad, will you teach me how to play the drums?" And I, being the kind and gentle father that I was, I looked at him and I said, "No."
Yeah.
You said no.
You're holding that like a cigar.
and-
Did you just see how you had that?
Yeah, how do I get? And I said no. And I said no. And he looked at him and goes, "What do you mean no?" I said, "I have 2 words for you. Play the harmonica because," or 3 words. "Play the harmonica because," 2 in my language, "because it's so much easier to pick up and take to a gig. And at the
Well,
end of
that's
the night,
true.
you're not there for an hour and a half." Now, the flute actually, people may not know this, but a flute actually comes in, how many, 2 or 3 pieces with this one?
Oh, 3 pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 pieces. You know,
And they all come apart.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So, and they're very low maintenance. I mean, what do you have to do? Replace the pads here or there? Get a valve that's stuck,
You
fixed?
do have to replace the pads, but it's to get an overhaul done, it's about $1,400.
Really?
Wow.
Do they have to replate the stainless steel or something?
No,
What do they do?
they might shine it up, but
The
no,
nickel?
they take it apart and re-put it back together. They
Really?
just do everything, put the new springs, everything that goes
How
in
many,
the
and
middle.
how many flutes do you
So-
own?
Probably 4.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Good. All right. Well, again, your websites?
Oh, bridalmusic.org.
Bridalmusic.org. All right, Michelle, thank you so
Thank
much.
you
for
so much.
That was
So
fun.
much fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for my daily dose of humiliation. I'm not, you know.
And you know,
Can't believe I could do
Maryann can
Let
do
him
weddings.
go.
You know, Maryann's an officiant. She can do weddings.
She's a
Yeah.
savant. She's a
Yeah.
flute savant.
Yeah.
Maryann is.
So
Look.
you have to do
Lots
a
of
contest
practice.
where you do a wedding, and Maryann will officiate,
Really?
Wow.
right?
But you can't hit the floor.
1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor. All right. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.
And, coming up next, actually, we have our actress, voiceover artist, and a recent donor to the City of Angels.
Oh, wow.
We have Miss Ilene Sullivan. We'll be right back.
If addiction, pain disorders, and mental health issues control your life, and you are ready for change, the Recovery Spot offers expert outpatient care for addiction, pain disorders, and mental health issues. We offer focused, high-quality treatment specifically designed for you. The Recovery Spot, we offer new hope for those suffering from pain and addiction. www.recoveryspotny.com. We're located in New York City.
Hey, guess what's next? We are what's next. We are having next to us right now. We are bringing our next guest. She is an actress, a voiceover artist, what else? Pretty much sums it up.
Pretty much sums it up.
This interview's not going to work if you don't talk.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn to talk. She is Ilene Sullivan. She's also a regular contributor at the What's Next Rockin' Happy Hours. Hey! And she is a recent donor and advertiser to the City of Angels on Rock On Radio.
Thank you for that.
So,
Thank
which
you.
we do.
pleasure.
We thank you very much for that. So how are you?
I'm doing very well.
You
Thanks
are.
For having
You
me.
are. You've
Thanks,
been-
you guys.
You're welcome.
You
is
have
very
been
cool.
everywhere.
Yeah, I have been
I mean,
everywhere.
you've been in a play as recently as this past weekend.
This past weekend.
You've been on photo shoots. I've seen you as everything from a zombie to a clown.
Yeah.
To
I do it all.
you do apparently.
I do.
So, all right. Well, let's start. Let's start with how did you get started in the acting business?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, it was something that I've done probably since college. Then I did, a lot of stage shows, comedies, dramas, everything that you could probably think of. And then I went out west for a while, and I toured around there.
West.
I was out west.
Where'd you go out west?
It was in Colorado and mostly Colorado, but my group went through Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska.
Where'd you go in Wyoming?
kind of. I don't remember.
Good trip.
It was a very good trip. It's a road trip.
all a blur. Well, Wyoming's beautiful.
Wyoming, it's all
Montana.
beautiful
Oh, my
out that way.
gosh,
It's
yes.
vast and beautiful, and there's a lot to do. So that was fun. And then I come back and was very surprised and pleased to find that there is an incredible resurgence, as I'm sure you know, not just musically, but within the community, specifically the Trenton community, a big resurgence in the arts, of which independent filmmakers are a big part, and independent playwrights. And I have been fortunate enough to maneuver myself, because I'm a big pest. I have,
You're persistent.
I am persistent,
Yeah.
and some will call me, yes, other names, but I am persistent.
PETA.
And so I have, I don't know how it all happened, but it sort of snowballed, and I was really, really interested in what was going on. The vibrancy of the community, the passion in the community, and these folks are incredibly talented, and I mean, their projects are just, like you said, they just run the gamut from I've been zombified, I've been filled with gore and muck and vampires and, but I've also been, had other types of parts in other types of films, but it's just been an incredible journey to find out what's out there and how everybody is sort of interconnected. And it really is something that I think, I don't know if the community is, how aware everybody is about this talent that is out there. And, yes, some of it is campy and some of it is fun and some of it is, over the top. But it's all creative and it's all substantial and it's all with merit, I've found a lot of resources, a lot of friends along the way. My motto has been, cast local, support local. Cast me. That's my, why?
Have you ever been cast as a bride?
As a bride? No, what?
No. Whoa! Ooh. I can't play the flute though. I'll marry you, but I'll have to hire Michelle to play the flute at the wedding.
See
You know
that?
what? I'll marry you.
Right now, we have it all, and that's exactly the point. See, you just never know. One thing just snowballs, and you know somebody, and they know somebody, and it's, like you say, persistence. I just...
Are you a member of any casting companies?
I am not.
No? Okay.
And at the moment, I don't choose to be so.
Okay.
I know there's pros and cons about that, but I'm not union. But a lot of work, all of the work that I've gotten is non-union work.
Right.
And mostly because these are indie filmmakers.
Who don't have a budget.
Who don't have a budget, but...
They're like indie musicians. They don't have a budget either.
Exactly. But I will say that Facebook has become an excellent way and an excellent resource for, they do crowdfunding and donating and so forth. So I would recommend and put my support out there that when people see these things on Facebook, that you just don't dismiss it. Right. As just another feed in that. Take a look at it, see what these people are doing, support them, make a donation. These are worthwhile endeavors, and these are struggling people. And if people, you want to see this resurgence in the community, and you're proponents of all of these causes, and you'll go out for all these things. I mean, there's art, there's music, there's theater. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to give back, to be part of the community that everybody supposedly wants to reestablish.
Supposedly. It's funny how the... I have to stop saying
Am
that.
I talking
It's really
too
not
much?
funny. No, that's why we brought you here to talk.
Okay. Yes, you were saying?
Oh my.
You bet your match, Daddy. You really have.
Woof. Communities in distress are often brought back, or pockets of communities are brought back by the arts. 9 times out of 10. Would you think that's a fair assessment?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
What do you think? Michelle?
Yes,
There
absolutely.
you go. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
All right. So we're all, me and these 3 beautiful women, all concur, Mr.
concur.
Shalander.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay.
the first time that happened in your life? Just saying.
Wow. It's the wedded bliss. So, example, the Mill Hill section.
Exactly.
Now, you know that I worked as a United Parcel Service driver from 1989 until 2010. Okay? When I began my career there, the Mill Hill section of Trenton, it's 4 streets: Mercer, Jackson, Clay, and Livingston. Okay? They're old, the real old bricks.
Like brownstones.
Brownstones. That's the term I was looking for. Brownstone homes. Beautiful, old homes that predate the American Revolution. Some of them. And in this neighborhood, though, these gorgeous homes were dilapidated, falling down, crack houses, heroin dens. If they're, let's say, just throwing a number off the top of my head, let's say there's 100 homes between those 4 streets. Probably 50 or 60 of them were unoccupied when I started. Now I think there's 3 houses. and because the arts community came in and took over. Asbury Park is another one. And now, and then, you know, people like to say it's because of the gay and lesbian community, or because they're heavily involved in the arts. But if you can do, you know, whatever, your lifestyle doesn't matter if the councils and the town doesn't get behind what you want to do. You know, to give these independent filmmakers and to give musicians and flautists places to play, you know. And I think it all begins grassroots. Networking, right?
Networking is important.
And because I know you're all over the place. I see you at the Trenton Social. It should be duly noted that Ilene is from the Trenton, New Jersey area. And, you know, I see you at the Trenton Social at the open mic, or to go see our good friend Dick Gratton, or, you know, playing his jazz guitar act. I see you at my happy hours. I see you, you know, doing various castings here, there, and everywhere. And that's a good thing. New York City, I've seen you, you know, post things on Facebook. So you keep yourself busy, and it works for you. How would you recommend somebody who wants to become an actor or an actress, and we'll get into your voiceover stuff in a little bit, but what would you recommend they do? Now, I belong to a casting company. I belong to a casting company because when I was unemployed for 3 years, when my back gave out, which ended my career at UPS, a friend of mine says, "You're home, man. Just join this casting company. You can either build an account that you pay for and you get a lot of visibility, or you could just leave one up there, and if they find something, they'll..." So for 2 years, I paid and got zero. As soon as I took it down and just went with the... I get work all the time now. And I get called for auditions all the time. You know, the back of my head has been in an Investigation Discovery Channel episode. Maryann has seen me. That was me. Did you recognize that? Maryann has seen me in tights.
What a view!
And the rest of the world will see me in tights in March, because it's a CNN miniseries that I was part of.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, you know, you get to work if you put yourself out there. But how would you recommend somebody, you know, our next guest coming up is Joe over there. If Joe wanted to become an actor, what would you tell him?
Well,
Play the harmonica. No, wait. That was the last segment.
That was a flute.
I would say go around. Go to the places that people may tend to gravitate to. Listen to people talk. Facebook has tons of sites that, you know, you just click on New Jersey. I'm talking to you. Like I'm,
Well, that's Joe. He's coming up next. He's waiting in the wings.
So there's a site like New Jersey, Pennsylvania casting, New Jersey, New York casting, and these are you just go on, join the group, make a click, and you'll get feeds, and you'll see what's up, and you say, okay, so you send here's a bunch of pictures, here's a little bit of a resume, and
How important are headshots?
personally, I think it depends what you're trying to channel. I mean, obviously, I have headshots. Cheap plug for my my business card. Headshots, as we come to know them, you know, or you think of them. I'm not sure that that's all it is. You know, all that. I think, as a matter of fact, I was just on a casting page, and they did not want professional headshots. They just wanted a couple of pictures to see what you looked like for whatever they were doing. So you can tailor that. I mean, yeah, go. You know, a photographer, I know tons that would love to, you know, practice taking headshots with people, and they're excellent. You want to have some just to have them? I would say yes. But once again, when you go on these various sites and you see what they're looking for, then you just tailor whatever it is to what their needs are at the time. So if they're looking for candid pictures, you send them candids. If you want an array of looks like I did, then you just bombard them with everything you got and let them see, you know, all kinds of craziness.
You look pretty good as a brunette. I'm going to tell you that
Thank
right now.
Thank you.
Makes your eyes pop.
I had an excellent makeup artist and an excellent photographer.
There you go.
It's smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've been in. Recently, I had a small part in an indie film that's in the works, and most of these are still in the works. It takes forever. Right. You know, they're still shooting. But you know, as an old boat woman who's come to save some people from apocalyptic world, you know, I've been. And let's besides indie films, let me just make a plug here for also indie playwrights. And the nice thing about independent, whether it's film or stage, is that you have the freedom to think outside the box. Right. You know, you're not casting My Fair Lady where you know that everybody's looking for, you know, the same thing all the time. You write an independent play and you have the freedom and the liberty to make some really interesting casting choices. And I think that's incredibly progressive and interesting. I just finished a play, as you said, written by a local guy. His name is Ken Bretzage. I probably have said that wrong.
The Ressages.
And it was called The Last Place on Earth. And my part was originally a male part. But he wanted me in the show, and so he's like, well, we just made it a female part. What difference does it make? I've seen shows even at the Kelsey Theater where the director and the choreographer have taken some incredibly interesting strides at unusual casting choices and making a production that people have seen perhaps over and over again totally different and totally new.
What's the most unusual role you've played to date?
To date, the most unusual, probably the horror genre would be the unusual.
Does talk show guest fall into that genre?
This has been by far the top of the list.
The most unusual.
The most unusual.
Aha! I knew it.
See?
We're the best
Well,
at being
because
the
you're
worst.
talking about headshots, and you know that Danny did some sacral work, and I want to know what shots you needed to
Sacral
audition.
work.
Yeah, I'm trying to be very cool. Huh?
Sacral.
Sacral.
Work.
So, what kind of headshots did you need for that?
All eyes are on you.
Heads I won, tails I lost.
There you go. Well, tails, you might have won in that case
Yes.
for that work.
For those of you watching on YouTube, and for those of you watching on this is actually, Michelle, this is going to be aired on Long Branch Cable
Yes.
as well. Long Branch Cable, so that Jersey Shore, Monmouth County
Okay.
area there. Well, if you're getting married, check out Michelle. If you want zombies, come to Ilene. See, you're good. Yeah. No, I have modeled sacral wounds. Look it up.
I just want to know what he had to do to get that role. She's so quiet.
We'll talk over at Jemison.
The question was directed to you.
I know.
Nobody's asked me that question.
Now, how about voiceover work?
Yeah, how about that?
Have I heard any commercials locally with you?
No, probably not.
Yeah, because I don't have a television.
But I am available.
Whoa, hey, easy here. This is not Match.com.
Oh, right. No. I meant,
Okay.
I would do, I would do pretty much anything. It's, it's not a big, to me, it's not a big deal.
Well, being creative, there's pretty much, I don't know about you, but when I had to do my sacral wound thing, and they had to decide how much of my lower back was exposed.
Vertical smile.
Yeah, correct. How much of that was it? I found myself thinking,
Did you?
believe it. Yes, I did. I found myself thinking, what do I care? I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Who cares? Right?
Absolutely.
There are people who are nude models.
Yes, there are.
You don't see them worried about what people think.
But I think everybody's sitting on this couch.
And nobody saw my front anyway.
But it has a creative mind in everything that you do, and then you get to express yourself.
Or expose yourself.
Or
in my case. So what's coming up for you? Do we have how do we find you? Facebook page,
What's
website?
next?
What's next? What's next for you?
What's next for me? Well, let me think. What's next? Well, we were just to get back to this for just a second.
Oh boy.
We were the pros and cons about doing film or doing a stage show. I guess it could be my attention span. That's not. I love the film thing because you do it, it's done, and you can move on to the next creative endeavor. The con side of that is waiting for the finished product. Whereas on the stage, yes, you may have a long duration of rehearsal time, which can be a little grueling, but then you have the show, you have the finished product. I'm not fond of shows that run, like a month long. It's like a couple of weekends. That's
And we're
That's
done.
good.
Yeah.
And we're done. But then you have that immediate gratification because it's over.
You're right, because that miniseries that I filmed,
Yes.
I filmed in August. It's not going to air until March.
Right, and most of the work that I have done fairly recently, I'm still waiting for the fruition. Like, when is that? When? And we're still filming. And most of the time they're still filming because they need the money.
Right.
So, it's all related.
It's a vicious
It is a vicious
circle.
cycle.
And speaking of money, we want to thank you for your very generous donation to the City of
Gosh,
Angels,
My pleasure.
who, of course, are the producers of this program. And we want to thank you for that and for listening and supporting us
Yes.
on What's Next and Rock on Radio and our health and wellness show that Maryann and I do. But other than that, we got to wrap it up.
Oh, gosh, this was fun.
It's fast.
Well, you're welcome to stay. You're welcome
This
to stay
was
over
great.
there too
Thank
with
you for
Michelle. 'Cause
having me.
We're going to be bringing Joe from Dolce Vita. We're going to be bringing him up any second now. So,
So just remember, if you need an actress,
how do we find you? How do we get in touch with
you
you?
can get in touch with me. My email address,
Druidgirl15 at.
hotmail.com.
There you go. See?
Or
I
you can
remember
text me on, which I don't, probably
No, you don't want to give your phone number out.
well, I do, but no.
You do.
That's another segment.
So let's see. Beginning of her segment, she married me. Now she's giving her phone number out to strange men. See?
Oh, gosh.
That's the story of your life, isn't it?
Oh, that hurt. All right, so we'll be right back with Joe from Dolce Vita. Thank you, Ilene.
Thank you,
We'll
Danny.
be right back.
Take care.
Are you constantly living with dysfunction in your life? If so, there's help. Neo Zoe, New Life Through Balanced Living, is a very unique holistic wellness company that's here to help you preserve a healthy balance and eliminate any dysfunction. We use an individual approach through nutrition, massage, and various other holistic practices. You can restore your optimal health and a healthy lifestyle. Visit us on the web at neozoe.com or call us at 732-713-0123.
Welcome back to What's Next with Danny Coleman. Our guest here is a local Trenton guy. We had a strong Trenton connection tonight.
Yes, we
did. He is a local Trenton fellow, and we were just talking off the air about some of the golden age of Trenton and the area that he grew up in, because I grew up very close, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But we have Joe of Dolce Vita Media Promotion.
How's it going? So not only am I of Dolce Vita Media Promotions, I just got into Stream Energy. So I'm now in a collaboration with Dolce Vita Media. I'm helping people save, especially people, residences, and commercial businesses, money on their electric, gas, cell phone, and healthcare. So but in collaboration with Dolce Vita, any commercial customers that come on, which I'll explain how that works, will be getting free promotion from Stream Media via Dolce Vita Media. So, but the way that works is that Stream is a third-party supplier, not provider, supplier. So currently New Jersey residents, they have PSE&G, and they're getting charged. So like when you look at your bill, you see like all
Your
these,
energy bill.
Yeah. Your energy bill, and we do gas too. Your energy bill, you see all these different rates, and they're all kilowatt hours, they're all kilowatt gas hours, and so forth. And you're like, what does that mean? So you're getting billed a rate. PSE&G and South Jersey Electric Company from the Hamilton Township aggregation charges you a variable rate, which is sometimes 15 cents, 12, 13, whatever they feel like, really. Stream, basically because of the Deregulation Act that Christie passed, which is one of the maybe few things that a lot of people like, Stream Energy is able to do a fixed rate, which has been unheard of in the state of New Jersey until that deregulation law happened. Their rates are currently within New Jersey around 10 cents versus the 15, 12, 14, whatever PSE&G charges you. So let's say a business is open 7 days a week, a sound studio, for instance, anyone doing recording for those musicians out there. You're open 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. That comes out to about 15 cents per kilowatt hour. You're going around $50 a month just on energy. Stream at 10 cents, you're looking at 30. You're just making $20 savings a month. So that's off of 4 meter readings a month that they do. So would you rather basically save that on energy, which cuts down your overhead, and not only that, but whatever else you're paying in gas if you provide heat or depending whatever. And Dolce Vita Media on top of that, if you sign up with commercial, will also promote you via the Stream Facebook page, the Stream LinkedIn, and the Stream website that we do. Will come to learn about your business, video record you, and make Facebook posts and social media posts, Instagram, Twitter, and so forth, and help promote you as well. So now you're getting an additional savings from promotion and social media and marketing, along with for free, along with what you're saving on energy. So that's kind of
So you're like the total package now.
boom.
Yes.
There you go. All right, that's what I need to know. Done. Thanks. No. But I see what you're saying is now that you can. It's what's that commercial where they talk about bundling? You had to bundle your phone, cable, and
Right.
internet. Or when you buy insurance, they want you to bundle your car, home, auto, and yeah, whatever, right? and they want you to do Because
It's a free plug, State Farm.
there you
You're
go,
wearing your
right?
khaki pants too.
See?
Just minus the red shirt.
But they want you to bundle that all together, and I guess in this society of instant gratification that we live in, they want to people want to know that less is more, so to speak, right? So what you're doing is providing kind of one-stop shopping for local businesses.
Yep.
All right. Now, do you have a website or anything? How do we find
Yes,
out
it's,
more about this?
So you would go to streamservicesnj.mystream.com.
Streamservicesnj.mystream.com.
And the best part is, we not only sell the energy and gas, we do healthcare. We have this thing where it's called Virtual MD. Let's say you have to be at work. You're sick. You can't make it into a doctor. You're out of sick days. For $1 a day, which equals to $30 a month, you get to log into the app that we provide you with, and a board-certified doctor in the United States comes, talks to you via Virtual MD, sends the prescription right to your pharmacy. There's no co-pays, and you're basically, so you already have health insurance, so you're already getting that done, and it covers everyone in your household. Let's say you have a kid that's sick at college, and we all know that the waits in college, to try to get a doctor's appointment is, you might be 2 weeks out. Your cold might have naturally passed by then, but you're sick, you have midterms, you have finals, your kid needs to be seen while at college. They log on to the app, boom, their prescription goes to the pharmacy, they're taken care of, they're golden. So we have that. We also have cell phone services, and which we use the same lines as Sprint, and at a cheaper rate than what Sprint offers. You could even bring your own device over, and we're golden there too.
So when you say we, who is we? Are you
Stream Services NJ.
right? But are you the franchise, or are you?
I am a regional director for Stream,
Okay.
so I'm an independent associate. So
Okay. So you.
that's added to my service catalog at Dolce Vita Media.
There you go. See that shameless plug, which is why you're here. This whole show, Mayor, is like one big shameless plug. That's why we do this show, right? Because we want people to come on and talk about themselves.
Right, absolutely.
And look at Danny's rear on CNN too.
No, don't cross the streams. No. You'll see. No, not my rear end. Not on CNN.
Alan's in the stream. That is what we are.
Oh.
Sorry.
Now,
Didn't you know that everybody's home, their focus right now is on your rear? Do you realize that mentally? Thank you. Now you give them a visual.
I'll stand up when we're done. Show you my sacral moments.
The vertical smile.
I
I
know.
keep saying that.
Anyway, so what when you and I first started talking, God, probably what now? 3 or 4 years ago, I guess, right? And you came on Rock On Radio,
Liberty Tavern.
and we hung out at the Liberty Tavern, thanks to Jody and Tom over there, for letting us set up shop. And we talked about concert promoting and things of that nature. Are you still doing any of that? Are you?
I was dabbling for a few, and my last thing was with John Rossi when we had a few groups come through Cedar Gardens. I kind of am just working exclusively with John on any of his projects. I haven't really dabbled too much in anything outside of that, just because I have 2 awesome kids. I have a beautiful wife, and it's very time consuming to be away from them, and especially my 2 little ones, 9 and 2, Angelina and Brianna. So I kind of like being home with them. I kind of like going to their dance recitals, and Brianna's doing her little gym thing, and so it's kind of fun to not have to be out at night. And it's cool because my wife comes to any of those events, so we get to hang out there too for our time. But it was getting tedious. It was getting
How so?
Well, when you've done is like, beforehand I was you understand being a musician, going out to concerts, playing gigs and so forth. Well, on the management end of it, when I was managing bands and stuff, I think my fuse blew too early. I was kind of like, kind of burnt out at both ends, being like working full time, managing a band and stuff like that. And I've done it. It's done. Like, my fun in it, it's kind of over. So now I only go out to, like, if John says, okay, we got Lisa coming in. Okay, we got Stevie B coming in. Okay, another one off the bucket list. So, I very much thank John for that opportunity, and being able to, meet those people that, like, I loved growing up, So it was kind of, that's cool. So whenever he would say, Joe, I got another one coming up, I'd be like, okay, let's do it.
Now, we were speaking of people that you loved growing up. We were talking before we came during the commercial break that you grew up in a section of Trenton called Chambersburg. I mentioned earlier in the program that I worked for United Parcel Service. And when I started there in 1989, Chambersburg was still fully an ethnic Italian neighborhood. So no matter what time of the day, especially early morning, right? Stop me when I'm wrong. You could go up and down any street in the burg and find some little old gray-haired house coat wearing Italian woman sweeping or mopping her porch with, right? Am I right or wrong, right? There were bakeries and restaurants and the burg was only like, was a 4 mile square or something. And there were, I don't know, like 10 churches. It was just a neat place. Case's pork roll. For those of you who are watching this program don't know what pork roll is, it is the greatest breakfast meat ever invented. Sorry. Case's pork roll. I could smell Case's from my house if the wind was blowing the right way. And I lived in Hamilton Township. I lived off Chambers of Liberty. That's where I grew up. There were places like Porfirio's. They grate their own fresh. It was just, the entire burg was just sights and sounds and smells, and every corner had a little mom and pop deli or a tavern or shot in a beer joint. Rossi's Bar and Grill, which is
Good Times Tavern.
Good Times over on Ashmore and Cummings. Yes, it was just.
I actually worked at Casa Mia.
Or Ashmore and Anderson. I'm sorry.
Casa Mia, which was the old Greco's.
The old Greco's, yeah, and these places were just amazing. Now you grew up, and we just talked. You grew up on Conrad Street.
Yep.
Barbero's Bakery was on Conrad Street. Their main competition, Italian People's Bakery, was over on Butler Street in the burg. And you said that you went to St. Joachim's
School.
Parochial School,
Yep.
Catholic school, which was next to Italian People's, and you lived on the street with Barbero's. My question was, dude, how did you stay out of the bakeries?
Here's how. Conchetta and her husband at Panorama.
Oh, Conchetta! Oh, my Lord! Conchetta! Oh, God! Conchetta, when I used to work for UPS, she didn't speak a lick of English. And she would get stuff that was COD, and I would be in there using my limited ability to speak Spanish, which is very similar to Italian, to try to explain to her how much money she owed me. And if her son wasn't there, you were in trouble, But I finally got her to the point where I'd say, okay, I would write it down and give it to her, and she'd say, tomorrow. But how did that upbringing affect you? And how does it still affect you today in what you do with your business and so on and so forth?
Well, here's a little bit of background. I'm going to segue and give a disclaimer. There's a few politicians in Trenton who call me Agent Zero.
That's better than Ground Zero.
Well, the reason for that is that while I grew up in Chambersburg,
I know where this
until I was 6, My mom married an African American gentleman we lived on every section of Trenton, everywhere you could possibly think of. I lived on West Hanover. I lived on Union Street. I lived on 2nd Street. Warren Street even, Tyler. But we ended up coming back to Conrad because that's where I grew up in my aunt's house, and then my mom bought it from my aunt, and so I ended up going back to Conrad. So, I'm half Hispanic, half Italian, and I was raised by an African American stepfather for most of my life. But the whole fact of the matter is that I could literally sit in a room like I'm sitting in the room with all of you now and get along with you fine. I appreciated everyone's cultural differences like I do now, and be able to be like, okay, cool, what can I learn from you? What can I learn? Because that's what marketing and networking is. It's not just, okay, what am I going to sell you? It's what am I learning from you to help me help you and vice versa.
Relational.
Yes. It's all about communication. And when people get past the business part of the end and know that it's like about people, I think that's how it grows more. Like your predecessor at the Trentonian, before you came on, was Scott Frost.
Scott Frost, yeah, I knew Scott.
I got along with Scott Frost very well, and like, you know, for instance, he came to all my shows at Hamilton Lanes. He came to, like, when I was booking, like, back when I had Hamilton Lanes and as one of my venues, and he would come and he'd rock out and be like, "Who are you?" I was like, cause I wouldn't, like, I was just like, and he'd just be like, they're like, you know, like one of the teenagers. I'm like, this guy's, I'm a little weirded out, but awesome. So like, so at the time we were sponsored by Rockstar Energy Drink. He'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna put this in the newspaper. Like, okay, cool. Like, and like, you know, most people in the time then be like, they would want money to be featured in a like newspaper, and I'd be like, well, what can I get you? It's like, well, you got some of the Rockstar? So I gave him a case of sugar-free Rockstar, not like, you know, like, he'd be like, and I remember him like 3 years later after he had already taken over, he goes, you know, I still haven't finished that case of Rockstar. I'm like, I think I overpaid you.
Well, the funny part about Scott is that I would run into him in the courthouse constantly because the Trentonian shifted him from being an entertainment reporter to covering the criminal courthouse. And me being the UPS guy, I was always in and out of the Mercer County Criminal Courthouse. And you know, I saw him and I said, "No more music, Colin?" "No, they got me doing this." You know, he was not a real happy man about it. At least I didn't think so. And then eventually he left, and that's when I reached out to Jeff Edelstein, however Jeff says his last name.
You finish that and I'll
Go
bring
ahead.
up Jeff.
And that's how I wound up getting that gig. But
Jeff Edelstein, when I was a waiter and busboy first, then everyone quit on him, and I became a waiter, the owner. So Jeff Edelstein was one of our main customers there, and I would sit there and he gave me a nickname because he said I reminded him from Spider from Goodfellas, minus being shot in the foot. I was like,
Spider from Goodfellas.
I was like, I don't know if I should take this as a compliment or just go with the, oh, you give me a tip. Cool, I'm Spider.
There you go. So what do you have coming up with the business? Anything big? Anything? Are you part of the whole night before Thanksgiving at Cedar Gardens this year with John and Kim D?
That's actually all Cedar Gardens doing. John's just the DJ who's happened to be performing there. He's the hired gun.
Well, my good buddy Mike Carthon plays. He's the music director for the Amazing Grace Little Band.
Okay.
And I've known Mike now for quite a few years, and Mike's a great guy. I know that he's.
Grace Little is one heck of a performer.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
So
she's amazing.
Yeah, I got to see her when I was doing the campaign for Paul Perez in 2014. She performed at one of his fundraisers, and I was just like, wow, she is truly amazing.
She is. She's the amazing Grace and the Grace Little Band. Again, websites and everything?
All right, so you can go to streamservicesnj.mystream.com. You can find them. You can find us on Facebook Facebook /.com. Sorry, Facebook.com/ Stream Services NJ, and always Facebook.com/Dolce Vita Media. So
We can find you through any of those. So that's great. All right. Well, we got to wrap it up there, Mr. Joe.
awesome.
Thank you, sir, for stopping
Thank
out.
you for
and,
having me.
Coming
Nice
to
to
see
meet you.
us and
Thank you.
and admiring Maryan's smile.
Aw,
See?
that was sweet. Thank you.
Lucky guy. Huh?
You are.
I'm a lucky guy. So I keep getting told. They keep telling me, look.
It's whatever's next, man.
That's right. It's what's next. All right. And we'll be right back to wrap it up here on this week's episode of What's Next.
Since 1987, Monmouth Music has served the local music community of Red Bank from their location at 30 Monmouth Street in the center of historic downtown Red Bank, New Jersey. Owner-operated, Monmouth Music provides lessons of all levels, beginner through professional, as well as brand-name instruments and a repair service. For all of your musical needs, go to Monmouth Music. That's Monmouth Music, 30 Monmouth Street, Red Bank, New Jersey.
If addiction, pain disorders, and mental health issues control your life, and you are ready for change, Recovery Spot offers expert outpatient care for addiction, pain disorders, and mental health issues. We offer focused, high-quality treatment specifically designed for you. Recovery Spot, we offer new hope for those suffering from pain and addiction. www.recoveryspotny.com. We're located in New York City.
Wow. That was quite an interesting show this evening.
Yes, I found out I could play a flute.
Apparently you...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you do that better than the rest of us. That is for sure.
I felt like the best student.
Well, you should have, because she... whoa.
Well, if you didn't hold yours like a cigar, maybe you could have
Yeah,
played
but
it.
Rich and I... Well, that's okay. I want to thank Michelle from Bridal Music, and I want to thank Ilene Sullivan.
That was a lot of fun.
She's pretty funny.
Yes.
You should start coming to the happy hours. Eileen and I... Yeah.
Is it different when you add a drink or two?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's a lot more fun. She's very quick with the wit, as we
Yes.
saw tonight.
She's great.
And and Joe from Dolce Vita there. So if you have any, if your business has energy needs, as well as social media needs, you can one-stop shopping with Joe there at Dolce Vita. What was it? EnergyStream.nj stream dot something.
Something.
We said
It's a lot of
That's
dots.
and Art will have it up. You'll have it up on the graphics, I'm sure. There,
Absolutely.
Engineer Art. But that's it. Next week we have. I'm trying to think next week who our musical guest is. I cannot remember off the top of my head. But we have a musical guest. I know we have Ava from the YouTube show Chat with Ava. She'll be coming in, and we may have a surprise or two. Who knows what's next? You have to tune in to find out. So we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Good night.